Lately, McLaren has gone unusually quiet. New car reveals have slowed down, and if you're wondering why, it's because something much bigger is on the horizon. A completely new generation of McLarens is coming, but this car is part of that future. This is the brand new 788HS, and it represents something far more significant. It's the final chapter of McLaren's pure V8 era. In fact, this could be the last non-hybrid V8 supercar the company ever builds. The next wave of McLarens will all embrace hybrid technology, making this car the ultimate farewell to the legendary 720S and 750S platform. And rather than simply ending production, McLaren has decided to finish with a bang. More power, sharper aerodynamics, less weight, and a setup inspired by the iconic LT models. If that sounds exciting, that's because it is. Think of this as a 750S that's been pushed as far as it can possibly go. There's no hybrid system adding weight or complexity, just a twin-turbo V8 driving the rear wheels, exactly how enthusiasts like it. Power climbs to 777 horsepower, making it even stronger than the already brilliant 750S. Thanks to its lightweight construction, it tips the scales at just 1,265 kilograms dry, leaving many rivals carrying significantly more weight. Sure, the upcoming replacement for the 750S will almost certainly be quicker, more powerful, and packed with hybrid technology. But honestly, if you've ever driven a 750S and thought it wasn't exciting enough, you're probably asking for trouble. That car already feels wild. This promises to be even wilder. The HS badge is incredibly exclusive. McLaren has only used it twice before, on special editions of the 12C and the legendary 675 LT. These are among the rarest McLarens ever produced, and are developed through McLaren Special Operations, better known as MSO. Customization is a huge part of the HS experience. But this isn't just about unique paint colors or stitching. The engineering has been transformed as well. Underneath, the 788HS borrows much of its hardware from the incredible 765 LT. It sits 5 mm lower on LT springs, features LT-specific damper tuning, and now benefits from McLaren's latest proactive chassis control software for even sharper responses. The carbon ceramic brakes are derived from the Senna, while the redesigned bodywork generates 10% more downforce than the already aggressive 765 LT. Visually, this thing looks absolutely outrageous. Interestingly though, McLaren says it's actually intended to be a little friendlier on the road than the old 675 LT. It uses softer engine mounts and has a revised exhaust character that's supposedly more enjoyable during everyday driving. Yet one glance at it and it looks like it belongs on the starting grid of a GT3 race. At the front, there's a new S-Duct channeling air over the bonnet to increase downforce, along with an aggressive splitter and lightweight center lock wheels. Down the sides, the 765 LT-inspired skirts improve airflow, but the rear is where everything comes together. That enormous carbon fiber wing might look fixed, but it's actually active, doubling as an air brake when needed. Below it sits a titanium exhaust with a beautifully textured finish, a massive carbon diffuser, and my favorite detail of all, the roof-mounted snorkel integrated into the rear window. It's not feeding air into the engine, it's purely there for cooling. But it looks fantastic. It even gives off serious McLaren F1 GTR vibes. Improved cooling allows the familiar 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 to work even harder. Revised engine mapping increases output to 777 horsepower, while torque remains unchanged at 590 pound-feet. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox, complete with McLaren's brake-based torque vectoring system. There's still only so much grip 2 rear tires can provide, even wearing sticky Pirelli Trofeo Rs, which explains why the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint stays at 2.8 seconds. Flat out, it'll reach 205 miles per hour. Inside, everything feels reassuringly familiar. If you've been in a 750S, you'll instantly recognize the cabin, and that's no bad thing. The driving position remains one of the best in the business. You sit incredibly low in lightweight carbon bucket seats, the steering wheel lines up perfectly with the pedals, and the controls feel built entirely around the driver. Alcantara covers almost every surface, while exposed carbon fiber reminds you this is something special every time you glance toward the door. Even the carbon center console keeps practical features like cup holders. Take notes, BMW. You don't always have to sacrifice usability in the name of performance. Every single 788HS will pass through MSO, allowing buyers to personalize almost every detail imaginable, from stitching colors to carbon finishes and seat designs. Exclusivity is guaranteed because production is capped at just 200 cars. Half will be coupes, half will be spiders. As exciting as this car is, McLaren still has a bigger challenge ahead. It needs an all-new mainstream supercar capable of taking the fight directly to Ferrari and Lamborghini. But while we wait for that next generation, the 788HS might just become one of the greatest farewell editions ever built. Of course, rarity doesn't come cheap. McLaren hasn't confirmed an official price, but expect something close to $500,000. And even if money isn't an issue, actually getting one is another story. Existing McLaren customers will receive priority, and the waiting list is already substantial, which means only a fortunate few will ever experience this car. That's a shame, because on paper it has everything you'd want from a modern supercar. Lightweight, powerful, beautifully engineered, and packed with character. Let's just hope the lucky owners do the right thing and actually drive it.